This begins the presentations on the endocrine system. The endocrine system has varied functions. Endocrine system regulates growth. It assists in the use of food to produce energy. It aids in the resistance to stress. It controls pH of body fluids and fluid balance, and it controls reproduction. So we will look at all the glands and their hormones that have these varied functions. So the endocrine system is a chemical regulation of body functions, and the chemical that was secreted by the glands is called a hormone. And then, of course, it has target tissues or organs. These are those which the hormones affect. And these tissues or organ cells have hormones on them, have receptors on them to which the hormones are attracted. And if receptors and hormones meet up, then the action of the hormone occurs. The endocrine system is ductless, so these hormones are in the blood and they circulate around to the target tissues. So here again, if a tissue or a cell doesn't have a receptor for it, the hormone does not affect that cell. So like I said, these hormones are teamed up with specific receptors. Now, insulin should have receptors on all of the body cells because insulin lets glucose into the cell. And of course, as you remember, glucose, our basic formula for cellular aerobic respiration, is glucose plus oxygen, leading to energy, carbon dioxide, heat, and water. There are basically three kinds of hormones, although the amines and other proteins are both protein hormones, and then the steroids are lipid-based hormones. So the amines, though, are broken apart because they are a variation of the amino acid tyrosine. Here again, the other protein hormones are peptides, chains of amino acids, and then, of course, the steroids are the lipid and have cholesterol as their precursor. So how do these work? How do hormones work? Well, there's a situation in the body, and we call this the stimulus, which will make a certain hormones either increase or decrease. So the glands will increase or decrease the production of these in these certain situations to make a change. And obviously this falls back to a lot of homeostasis. We talked about the negative feedbacks before, that way, there has to be a certain amount. If it falls low, then it will begin increasing, but it will only increase to a certain point. So those are our negative feedbacks. On the other hand, a positive feedback, once a process gets going, that encourages more of it to be produced. The hypothalamus has a lot of releasing hormones that it has to affect the pituitary gland. And of course, we will look at that when we look at the pituitary gland in one of our following presentations here. And then here we have this word antagonistic again, just like we had antagonistic muscles, but these are antagonistic pairs of hormones. And this regulates the blood chemistry, like the glucose. Here again, we want to keep a good blood level, so we have enough glucose so our cells have enough energy, but we don't want too much and we don't want too little. So we've got a pair monitoring that. And then we've got calcium, the same thing. We need calcium for our muscles to work, for our nerves to work, and for our blood to clot. And we have to have a good amount so that that happens, but we don't want too much. So here again, we've got two hormones that keep that balance. So in our ensuing presentations, we will look at these glands, what hormones they produce, what the stimulus is, the situation in the body that will have an increased production or a decreased production, and what effects these hormones have on the body's homeostasis, the body's metabolism.